Welcome back, you beautiful people. Today is another pro bike and it's a special one as well. This is Olly Wilkins' Focus Jam CSL. Like always, I like to start off with the heart with the bike, and that is the frame. This is the Focus Jam CSL. It's carbon from front to rear. And what SL stands for, that's the super light version of it, because you do get just the C. And that means there's carbon front and aluminium rear. But this is the large frame Olly's gone for. Right, I'm going to focus on this little linkage right here. This is Focus's own linkage design. It's pretty crazy because it's like Inception. It folds, then it folds in itself. It's pretty unique, but Olly was giving me an earful about it, so I'm going to leave that up to him at the end of this video to talk about it. But the shock wise, this is the XFusion 02 Pro, and it is the RCX. It's 140mm of travel. Setup wise, he said it's got quite stiff, it ramps up quite quickly, so I'm going to ask him a lot more details about his rear end suspension setup. Right, moving on to the drivetrain on the bike, and this is a fresh bit of drivetrain just fitted for us. But the good thing about Olly Wilkins is he works with R&D, he works at DMR, he works in product design as well, and he basically had a lot of input into these DMR cranks. These are the Axe cranks, 165mm in length, and he's running the Blade. There's a 32 tooth sprocket up front as well, and then to keep his feet on those pedals when he's going fast down those rough sections are these DMR Vault pedals. These are the Brendog signature ones, but the crazy thing about this, he didn't want Brendog on his pedals, so he etched in his own name into these pedals. And what I can see here, he does not want his feet to move on his pedals. These are called the King pins. These are prototype pins in his pedals. They're super long and aggressive. Just because he rides in Surrey Hills, you know, his feet are going to get full of mud, and he wants grip on those pedals. Right, moving to the back of the bike, and look at this selection of gears. He's running a Sram 12-speed gear setup on the rear. Because he's running a 32 tooth up front, that means he's got a lot of range on the rear, especially when he wants to go fast and do all those climbing up in those Surrey Hills as well. Right, moving on to that grip part of the bike, and that is the tire. These are the Kenda Hellkat Pros. It's a 27.5 at a 2.4 inch platform. And that tire is seated to these Reynolds Enduro 27 rims. And this is a composite rim, so it's super lightweight. And then that is laced to that Indusrty 9 black hub in the bottom there. But the sound of this sounds mental. Listen to it. Killer bees are going to come for you for sure. Right, let's move to the front. Right, I'm going to start off with the forks. These are the XFusion sweep forks. But look at the size of this. This does not look like 140mm of travel to match that rear. This is 160mm of travel. That's mind-boggling. I'm going to have to ask him why he's running quite a lot of travel up front like he hasn't got on the rear. Anyway, question for him. Exactly like the rear, this is the Hellkat Pro Kenda tire. Reynolds front wheel as well, composite as well. Indusrty 9 hub in black again. And then the braking power on this bike are the Sram guides. They're 180mm rotors front and rear. This gives them enough stopping power out there for all those high speeds and trails. So let's move up to the top. Right, up the cockpit where he keeps his bike in control out there on the trail. And I'm going to kick it off with the grip that he needs in his hands to keep it in control. And these are the DMR Deathgrip race grips. They're in black, but the great thing about this, they're super soft and tacky. Just enough comfort to keep in his hands and his palm, keep the bike in control out there. But all that speed needs to be controlled, and he's got the Sram Guide Ultimate brake levers front and rear. This whole cockpit is full DMR, and it's a pretty unique one as well because all of it is 35. And what I mean by 35 is I'm going to start off with the stem. This is the DMR Defy 35. 35 means the length of stem, and that's got an oversized clamp which is 35. Oversized normally is 31.8, but this is oversized. This is a 35 clamp. And that's a 35mm rise and bar as well. Lengthwise, not too sure, but these are the DMR Wingbar 35. Keeping that XFusion vibe going on, let's move to his dropper post. This is the XFusion dropper. It's a Manic and it's 150mm of drop. Let's move to the back. Like I said, this is the XFusion Manic. It's a 150mm drop in the seat post, and on top of that is this DMR Stage 1 saddle with cool saddle rails in chromoly. All right, enough of me talking about your own bike, Ollie. Come in here, I've got a few questions for you.
Certainly.
Right, welcome. This is Olly Wilkins, everyone. ODubs_23 Instagram, check him out. Pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna kick off with the first question. It's a 140mm travel bike, and up front you've got 160mm of travel. Why?
That's right, yeah, it is 140. It is 140, but I ride quite aggressive and I ride quite big jumps, so I decided to opt for a 160 fork.
Yep.
Basically, it slackens it out and it's just a bit more forgiving on big hits.
Yeah, well, you need all that front suspension as much as you like. Hey, hence why you've dropped your stem right down. Then you're running a super aggressive cockpit as well.
That's right, yeah. I run a 35mm reach stem, which is sort of the most important part, I think. I like a really short stem. I like the bike to feel twitchy, and I run 770 bars, I think.
770,
yeah,
that was the question I was going to ask you. Yeah, 770. Wow, that's pretty good. Linkage, look at this little brain matter of stuff going on down here. I don't completely understand what's going on there.
Do you know what? I don't completely understand it, but Focus do.
Yeah.
It's the Focus optimized linkage design, so it's their own suspension system. From what I get is I've got a solid rear end, which is what I like, so it's super stiff, but the linkage, it's linkage driven.
Okay.
So it ramps up.
Right. Okay, talk about ramp up. How do you like your setup in this rear shock? What PSI are you running? Is there tokens, and what do you do? Do you like it ramping up quick, like you said?
Do you know, I couldn't tell you the PSI right now because it changes from day to day depending on how I'm feeling.
Okay.
But I like it so it's super hard. That's the first thing you notice when you get on my bike. Yeah. And I like it to ramp up really quick because when you're hitting jumps and stuff, it just helps.
Exactly, you don't want it to dive and lose all your pop. And like up the front as well, do you run a number of tokens or do you have high pressure again?
That's right, yeah, I run it so it ramps up again. So really, I'm not racing, so I don't need like small bump sensitivity. So that's why it feels hard when you get on it, but when you ride it, it feels amazing.
Feels amazing, wicked. Right, another thing, I see a lot of etching around. With the Brendog signature DMR Vault pedals, I see your name on it, so you scratched over it.
I couldn't have my friend's name on my bike.
Yeah, he rides a lot with Brendog, and he kind of does. Yeah, I get it. He couldn't see it, and I like what you've done up here, the ODubs23.
Got to, haven't you? Otherwise, no one's going to follow me.
Exactly. Okay, another question for you. I see that you're running tubes and not tubeless. How come you're not converted? Plus, what tire pressures are you running as well?
Blake, I've got to say, I don't like the sticky mess involved with tubeless setup.
Yeah.
So I just run tubes. It's just easier. I can bring a tube with me and I don't have to deal with it all over my hands when my tyres get hit by a massive stone or something.
Yeah.
What was the other question?
PSI.
We're talking about sticky messes. The PSI, it depends, dude.
Yeah.
It depends. Today we're riding loam.
Oof. So you're going to run quite low tyre pressures?
Well, I don't know. Racing, I'm not going to tell you all my secrets, am I?
There you go. This is Olly Wilkins Pro Bike Check. Thank you for watching. If you want to see another video just like this one, click down here for another pro bike of your choice, and over here for a nice 5 basic ways on how to ride street. Don't forget to click this rad little globe if you haven't already. Subscribe, hey? And if you love his bike, what do? You follow me
and give it a thumbs up, like.